Welcome to Chapter 4 of Not My Cup of Tea. In this chapter, Chuka takes another step deeper into his journey, where the stakes become more personal and the choices even more difficult. How he navigates these moments will shape the man he becomes. If you are enjoying the story so far, do not forget to subscribe and press that notification button to stay updated. Let us continue this journey together. Chapter 4, A Family of 5. The sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm, golden hue across the opulent living room of our southeast London home. The grand space was tastefully decorated with plush furniture, polished mahogany, and family photos that seemed to tell a story of triumph and togetherness. Yet, in this room of apparent luxury, the echoes of our laughter and the soft murmur of our conversations often felt like a distant melody, overshadowed by an unspoken tension that lingered in the air. Adora was in the kitchen, her movements graceful as she prepared dinner for our 5 children. The kitchen was her domain, where she could momentarily escape the weight of expectations and immerse herself in the simple pleasure of cooking. I watched her from the doorway, the soft light reflecting off her dark skin, highlighting the gentle curve of her cheek as she concentrated on the meal. Our children, Ngozi, Ifeanyi, Chuka Jr., Ezene, and little Obi, were scattered around the living room, each engrossed in their activities. Ngozi and Ifeanyi were engrossed in a heated debate over the latest superhero movie, while Chuka Jr. meticulously assembled a complex Lego structure on the coffee table. Ezene and Obi played quietly in a corner, their giggles and whispers a reminder of the innocence that still existed amidst our complexities. I sank into the plush armchair, running a hand over my face. The glamour of our life here, the adulation from fans, and the comforts of affluence seemed to fade into the background whenever I was home. In these moments of quiet observation, I felt the full weight of my disconnect, disconnected from myself, my family, and the life I had fought so hard to build. Adora's voice, though calm, held an edge as she called, "Dinner will be ready soon. Why don't you all come to the table?" The children scrambled to the dining area, eager to settle into the evening routine. I could sense Adora's frustration even from a distance. It was not in how she carried herself, but in the subtle shifts in her demeanor, the slight furrow of her brow, the way she kept glancing toward me with a mix of longing and resignation. When we finally sat down to eat, the clinking of cutlery and the soft hum of our conversation created a semblance of normalcy. But beneath it all, there was a palpable undercurrent of unease. Adora's attempts at small talk were met with my half-hearted responses, and I could see the weariness in her eyes. A weariness that was not just from managing a bustling household, but from the distance that had grown between us. "Chuka," Adora began, her voice soft but firm. "We need to talk." I glanced at her, the weight of her words hanging heavily in the air. My heart sank, knowing that this conversation would likely unravel the thin veil of normalcy we had managed to maintain. "What is on your mind?" I asked, trying to keep my tone even, though my mind raced with thoughts of what this discussion might entail. Adora sighed, her gaze fixed on her plate.
It is just, I feel like we are drifting apart. You are so consumed with your battles, and I am left trying to keep everything together here. I need you to be present, not just physically, but emotionally.
Her words struck a chord. I had been so focused on my struggles and my quest for meaning that I had neglected the very foundation of my life, my family. It was as though I had built this magnificent edifice of success, only to forget the people who were supposed to be the heart of it. "I am sorry. Please forgive me. I did not realize how much I was pulling away. I have been so caught up in trying to find my place in the world that I forgot where my heart truly belongs." Adora looked at me, her eyes softening, but still filled with concern.
I understand you are searching for something deeper, Chuka. But do not lose sight of what is right in front of you. We are here, waiting for you to come back to us.
Her words, though simple, were a stark reminder of the connections I had been neglecting. As I looked around the table at my children, each one a reflection of our shared life and dreams, I felt a pang of realization. The love and support of my family were not just byproducts of my success, they were the very reason I had achieved it. As dinner continued, the conversation shifted to lighter topics, and laughter returned to the table. But the weight of Adora's words lingered in my mind, a sobering reminder that amidst the pursuit of my own identity and purpose, I had to nurture and cherish the relationships that mattered most. The next morning dawned crisp and clear, casting a serene light over our neighborhood. I woke up early, the quiet of the house a sharp contrast to the bustling energy of the day before. I sat on the edge of our bed, the weight of Adora's words still pressing heavily on my mind. The comfort of our luxurious surroundings felt hollow, overshadowed by the reality of my emotional disconnect. I decided to start my day by taking a walk through the park just a few blocks away. The fresh air and the rustling of leaves offered a rare moment of solitude, away from the distractions of fame and fortune. As I strolled along the path, I watched children playing, parents chatting, and couples walking hand in hand. Their simple, genuine interactions were a poignant reminder of what I had been missing. I found a secluded bench under an old oak tree and sat down, closing my eyes and letting the sunlight warm my face. For the first time in a long while, I allowed myself to be still, to just be present in the moment. The chaos of my thoughts began to quieten, replaced by a growing awareness of how I had been living my life on autopilot, always chasing the next achievement, the next accolade. As I reflected on Adora's words, I realized that my quest for meaning had become a solitary journey. I had been so focused on understanding my purpose that I had forgotten the people who mattered most were right there beside me, struggling with their sense of neglect. The weight of that realization felt like a heavy stone in my chest, but it was also liberating. It meant I had the power to change things, to bridge the gap that had formed between us. Returning home, I was determined to make a difference. I found Adora in the living room, her face illuminated by the soft glow of the morning sun. She was reading a book, but her eyes were distant, lost in thought. I could see the toll that our recent conversations had taken on her. "Morning," I said, trying to sound casual, but feeling the seriousness of our situation. Adora looked up, a flicker of surprise crossing her face. "Good morning. How was your walk?" "It was enlightening," I replied, taking a seat next to her. "I have been thinking about what you said. I have realized I have been so consumed with my own battles that I have neglected the people who matter most." Adora closed her book and looked at me, her expression a mix of hope and skepticism. "And what do you plan to do about it?" I took a deep breath, feeling a mix of vulnerability and resolve. "I want to start by being more present. I want to reconnect with you and the kids, to truly be a part of our lives, not just as a provider or a figurehead, but as a partner and a father." Adora's eyes softened, and she reached out to touch my hand. "That means a lot to hear. We have been managing, but it has been hard. I just want us to be a family, not just on special occasions or when it is convenient." I nodded, feeling a surge of emotion. "I understand. I have been so focused on my quest for meaning that I forgot that real meaning is built on the connections we share. I want to make more time for us, to be here for you and the kids in ways that go beyond just being physically present." Adora smiled, a hint of relief in her eyes.
That sounds like a good start. We could use some time together as a family without the distractions of work and fame. Maybe we could plan a family outing or just spend more time at home doing things together.
Her suggestion was simple yet profound. It was a reminder that sometimes the most meaningful changes come from the smallest gestures. "I would like that," I said earnestly. "Let us plan something. I want to make sure that my actions match my intentions." Later that day, we gathered the kids for a family meeting, an informal chat over a simple meal. As we sat around the kitchen table, I looked at each of them, feeling a deep sense of gratitude for the family that had been patiently waiting for me to realize what truly mattered. "Hey everyone," I began, my voice steady but filled with sincerity. I wanted to let you know that I have been thinking a lot about our family and how I have been distant lately. I want to change that. I want to be more involved and spend more quality time with all of you. The kids looked up, their expressions a mix of curiosity and excitement. Adora smiled, giving me a reassuring nod. I continued, "Let us plan some fun activities together. It does not have to be anything grand, just time spent together, enjoying each other's company. What do you all think?" Chuka Jr. grinned and said, "Can we go to the park and have a picnic?" Ezine added, "And maybe a movie night. I have been wanting to watch that new adventure film." I chuckled, feeling a sense of warmth and connection. "Sounds perfect. We will start with a picnic this weekend and a movie night soon after. And if you have any more ideas, just let me know." As the kids chattered excitedly about the plans, I felt a renewed sense of purpose. It was not just about making grand gestures or achieving more. It was about being present and engaged in the everyday moments that make life truly meaningful. The path to reconnecting with my family had begun, and I was determined to walk it with open eyes and an open heart. And that is the end of Chapter 4 of Not My Cup of Tea. Chuka's journey gets more intense as he faces deeper questions about his choices and their impact. Thank you for listening. Do not forget to subscribe and press that notification button so you do not miss the next chapter. The journey continues.